ॐ वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम्. So last Sunday we were discussing one shloka from Bhagavad Gita's second chapter of and 27th number shloka. जातस्य हि ध्रुवो मृत्यु ध्रुवं जन्ममृतस्य च तस्मात् अपरिहार्येऽर्थे न त्वं शोचितुमर्हति. One who is born will die, and one who will die will be born again. So the first part is all of us are okay, that those who are born will have to die one day. You don't need to show any proof about it. But the second part, that those who are dead will be born again. Till now we do not have scientific proof of that. For thousands of years we are believing in this. But there is no experimental proof from that point of view, though thousands of cases have been studied that children generally, very few people keeps remembering their past life, but generally it happens that children will remember their past life. Most cases are of the children's cases that they remember. How it is? For example, if you have seen dream which was very vivid, which made you very happy or fearful, even after 10, 15, 20 years you remember that dream. But the normal dreams which you see, when you wake up in the morning you may remember, but if you recollect it once, then remembrance continues. Otherwise after half an hour you even forget it. So like the dream, we cannot remember always. In the same way, this previous life also we do not remember. But as we remember some dreams, in the same way, some people remember the past life. For us, it may not be that difficult to accept, because we are born in that culture where we have a sense of reincarnation and karma. But what about the Western world? What about people who do not believe in karma and reincarnation? When they have cases that children seem to remember the past life, they take it very objectively and they try to resolve also objectively. When we hear about past life, we try to reconcile with our belief system. When in the West, when children remember the past life, what the children say, they go to those places to verify whether the child is telling is true or not. Earlier they thought that these cases of reincarnation happens mostly in Asia, because at that time people used to write books and all that, but now it is internet. So in most of the American and European universities, there is a department who look into, because this is common to everybody and everybody has a curiosity about it. Nobody is free from this curiosity. So they have departments and who objectively study these cases Many things are on the internet, the professors, the lectures and their findings. So I was studying about these things, that in Pennsylvania University, a professor, last 20 years, he is only studying reincarnation. In America itself he has found almost 2,500 cases where children remember the past life. So they go, talk to the parents, talk to the children, and go to the place for the children. Children, in most of the cases, have identified the place, identified their parents. In our side of the world, it is common. Though, even if we come to know, we do not show that curiosity to go and show. Recently, a lot of studies have been done. Even Sri Lanka, there are so many incidents have happened now. Generally, you will find that we have ideas that when the grandfather dies, he is born as a grandson in the same family. These kind of things we have belief also. Or the girl is born here, but she says, no, my original place is about 10-15 kilometers away from there. Girl goes there, recognizes all the family members and tells everything about what she was in the previous life. So in general, for us to believe in reincarnation is not that difficult, because we are born with, in this culture where reincarnation is very common concept which we do not study, do not think, but has taken for granted that yes, this is there. But none of us remember our past life. Now we say, for example, we are here 8 of us, and here online you have about 15-20 people. So among 30 of us, none of us remember our past life. But all of us believe in past life. As I was telling, do any of us remember how you passed those 9 months in the womb of your mother? We don't remember. Does it mean that we never passed time in our mother's womb? None of us remember when we were 2 months, 6 months, 1 year, 2 years old. We don't remember. Does it mean that we were never 1 year old or 2 months old or 3 months old? We were, but we don't remember. So our not remembering cannot be told that we didn't exist. In this life itself we don't remember. How to remember the past life? So in some cases it happens. So these people have objectively studied the past life phenomena, how it happens. And there are very famous cases. Internet is full of that. If you have interest, you can hear the interviews and interviews of the children, interviews of their parents, how the research is being done, what they found. Very strange, because they go from negative point of view. No, this is not true. With that belief, they do research. When we do research with this preconceived idea that yes, reincarnation is true. So there are 2 ways of dealing with these cases, and a lot of information is found now. And as I was telling last week, that even those who do not believe in reincarnation came across a very typical case, and it was proved, and it practically was shaken the thinking process of Western world. How a middle-aged of 35 to 40 years old woman, she says, not that I only remember, but I can remember everything what I experienced. in my previous life how my husband was and how I treated my children and what happened. In this life it is altogether different. So they studied it. The lady is staying in America. Then she and her son, according to her dream, according to her memory of past life, they found that it was in Ireland somewhere. So the son and the mother goes to Ireland and finds out the children of her previous life. Now the mother is 40 years old and all her children are 70, 75 years old. So it was very emotional, and as I told you that if you are interested to know about it, very interesting. They have made a movie out of it. It's called Yesterday's Children. You type Yesterday's Children, you get that movie and then you can watch it. This is all true fact. End of the movie, they also bring the real person who had remembrance of past life and interviews that lady. So, does it make difference whether we have past life or not? You know, the modern, there is no importance of any piece of knowledge if it doesn't have utility value. Correct? I don't remember past life and you remember past life. In which way it makes difference? Rather, your life is little more miserable. That you not only worry about this life, you worry about your previous relations also. But that makes you little more responsible. And you accept the karma, so you refrain from doing bad things. We say, if not in this life, next life you have to suffer if you do bad karma. So if you remember your past life, and if you are convinced about it, then you get somewhat answer of your suffering in this life. Why do you suffer? Because of your karma in your past life. So that makes you a better person in a way. It can be other way around also. Somebody did harm to you, so you want to take revenge, but you don't know where he or she is. Because you remember your past life, you don't remember their present life. All kind of problem could be there. Idea is not there. Idea is not utility of this knowledge. Idea is that which is a fact, that which is true, that which is happening. But it is happening in such a way that our normal sensory system is not able to understand this fact. Sri Krishna says to Arjuna, how many lives you have passed earlier? You don't remember, I remember. So do what I say. If we all remember, it may have positive, negative effects. Not from any other point of view, but the world is not only what you see. Now, we 8 people are in this room. This is true. This is true from the standpoint of our seeing, our perception. If your mind is on a different level, where you may be able to see that which you cannot see with these eyes, then your perception of this room will be different. But in general, to be more logical and practical, we always see, we all see the same thing, that 8 of us are here. Anybody sees other than that is wrong. Because if it is so, we all should be able to see it. But world is not what you see. If one of us have ability to see something final, you say, how we can have ability? Take from scientific point of view, nothing to think about spiritual or psychic or something. Go from very, very scientific way, which if I can do, you also can do. Now you see, a lot of scientific development has happened. So, they have made telescopes which they can see the galaxies also as if it is happening in front of you. As they have developed telescopes, same way they have developed microscope also. That microscopic cameras are able to enlarge whatever is in front of you 3,000, 5,000 times bigger. And the world is totally different than what you see. This table is empty here, nothing is there. Correct? You see? Nothing is there here. You put this surface under that microscope and you will probably find that there is a big forest and there are so many animals living here. You say, how? This is imagination. It's not imagination. I am telling you about 35, 40 years before, maybe 40 years before. I went to Calcutta in 1970s. So because we went as a tourist, so we went to see the Science Museum. There at that time, 40 years, now science has improved much more than what it was. So they have a microscope at that time, 40 years before, where a drop of water is under microscope 3,000 times bigger than what it is you can see. And you cannot believe the whole aquarium is there inside. There are so many small plants kind of things are there, so many germs are there, so many insects are there. All you can see are swimming around in one drop of water. This also, if you are interested to study, go to YouTube and search for invisible world. Some other things also may come, but go for this, the invisible world, where different surfaces are studied and it is altogether different. What I wanted to say here is, this world which you are seeing, this world which you see, is the world which you are able to perceive in this state of mind and this state of your senses. As soon as your senses change or your ability change, the world changes in front of you. You cannot see anything. You remember, all of us have studied. What is the easiest thing they used to tell us? When you peel the onion, first cover is dry one. Inside, when you peel, there is a very membrane kind of very thin layers are there. We used to take out this layer, all of us have done, put into a particular color, pigment or something, and put under the microscope. In that one small piece of onion, one layer, you have so many things you can see. That's how the microscope works. What we want to say is that never ignore the possibility of many things which could exist around you, which you are not able to see because of your limited capacity of your eyes. If you change the state of mind and the state of your eyes, for example, if I have the number now, so even if I see, maybe I am not able to read. As soon as I put glass, I can read. So when I am not able to see, does it mean that nothing is written here? You don't have the number, but if I give you the glass, everything becomes blur. Do you think by putting glass, the things are erased from this page? No. So the capacity of your brain, or the ability of your brain, ability of your senses, when that changes, the world around you changes. Many faculties are there. Those faculties are now being studied. There is a faculty called psychic abilities. They are common people. They are neither monks or or some meditation, this and nothing. They are born with these capacities. And scientifically and practically, that capacity is being used. It is not psychology or psychiatry. It is called psychic. Psychic is the ability of your mind. They are able to see what you are not able to see. And lot of objectively these things are studied, and they have put to test this ability of the people. Just like these competitions are held, singing competition, dancing competition. Like this, twice they had held this competition of psychic abilities in America. Again, if you are interested, watch this, America's Psychic Challenge. Very interesting. Take it as an entertainment for a while. But this faculty of human mind, you will be really surprised how it is possible. You will find there are so many episodes out there, and so many individuals you will come to see. How they know, we don't know. Think of a building, think of a big hotel which has got 200 rooms. All the rooms are empty. Nobody is there in the room. In one room, one person is there. Which room? Nobody knows. Now the psychic ability person will be told, and you find out in which room there is a person. So if we have to go, what we see? Here if some sound comes or not, if some movement is there or not. No. They will pass through the corridors and try to feel the existence of a human being in those rooms. And those psychic ability people, out of all the 200 rooms, can find out that in this room there is a human being. Like this 101 things. These abilities we don't have. And they have used that ability to solve the cases and mysteries and all that, which otherwise we don't know. Ability of mind. Swamiji has a lecture called Powers of the Mind. And he says, somebody showed a magic to Swamiji. So he said, I simply could not understand. There is nothing in front of me. This is in the life of Swami Vivekananda. He was very intelligent. Nothing is there in front. That person remove the cloth and have fresh flowers with even the dew drops on it. Swamiji said, from where it came? Definitely it were there. Swamiji doesn't say that it was suddenly created. Then, what you want, I will take it out. So he told about some fruits which are not possible to get in that part of the country. He opened and gave him that fruit. So it looks like a magic. We do not say that these are special abilities, because then immediately our mind will say, then why so many people are hungry? Just magic and create food and give to people. It may be a sleight of hand, could be. What I am telling is, that which defies your logic is called magic. Magic is something where logic doesn't work. So there are some tricks which could be a trick, but your logic doesn't work there. Not only yours, but whoever will see, hardly anybody can understand it. So, coming back to this, that the belief system, scriptures or the earlier people, they told what they have understood. Krishna told to Arjuna what is reality according to Krishna. You may not believe it. So belief system is this, that you start believing in them and live your life accordingly. If you are interested, you can try also to do that. In our Yoga Sutra and other scriptures are there. Some people are interested. From curiosity is a different thing, but we are not interested. The way how to remember your past life, this also is there. But we do not do it. This life itself we have enough problems. Why should we go for the previous life? It's not question of that. But believing in that, there are so many things in our life, practical life, day-to-day life, where it is difficult. Somebody can become your friend for the whole life just by accidentally meeting him or her. You do not know who they are. And there are some people with whom you stay for years and do not become close friends. How this attraction, how this attention, how this identity, how this love, how this concern is generated in your mind only for one person or two people or 10 people in this world. So anyway, we don't go for that. What we are telling is that those who are born will have to die. That is very fact. And those who are dead will born again. That's why this is something which is unavoidable. It is not in your hand, oh no, I don't want to come. I remember a beautiful incident where Holy Mother, a disciple comes to Holy Mother and asked, Mother, liberate me from this birth and death. Mother said, don't worry about it. You keep on doing your spiritual practice. Whatever your karma is there, accordingly it will happen. Then the devotee says, no, by your grace, you can stop my rebirth. Then Holy Mother smiled and told, because of your own desire, you came hundreds of times. For me, you do not want to come even once more. Mother says that. So idea is this, is it in your hand to be born again or not to be born again? In a way, no, it is not our hand. But in a way, yes. If you are desireless, if you do not have desires, there is no point of coming. We come because we have desires. What desires we have, we can see our life and understand what desires we have. All the desires are not fulfilled. So at the time of death, you leave this world with hundreds of desires. I want money, I want this, I want that. So you want to fulfill those desires. God has nothing to do with that. So you will come back again. So Holy Mother says, if God comes in front of you and asks you to ask for any boon, what you will ask? Mother is asking to some ladies in the house. We will ask for devotion, we will ask for... Mother says no. If ever you want to ask God, ask only one thing, that is called desirelessness. If there are no desires, everything will be taken care of. And how you will be desireless? Unless you understand the futility of the object of desire. For example, I want something to eat. Your desire is there to eat. So you procure, you eat, and your stomach is upset. Will there be any change in your desire? Slowly, your desire to eat that thing will go because it doesn't suit you. So you stop eating and stop desiring that. When you understand and realize the futility of the objects of desires, then you do not have desire anymore. We have a beautiful shloka in our Upanishad. It says, Pariksha lokan, by examining the world around you, Brahmana means those who are in spiritual life. It's not Brahmana and Kshatriya. Brahmana means one who is on the path of spiritual progress. What is this loka? Karmachitan lokan. This loka is made of karma. Today you are poor, you work hard, you earn money. Today you are thin, you eat food, you become fat. Today you are fat, you do dieting, you become thin. Whatever you see in this world is the fruits of your karma. Whatever your spiritual progress also is spiritual karma, sadhana. So when you keep on doing that, so karma and the result of karma, this you continuous experience. And if you are observant, slowly you will withdraw your mind from this. So the shloka says like this: Parikshyalokan karmachitan brahmana nirvedamayati. What is nirveda? Nirveda is dispassion or vairagyam. Everything is impermanent. Some lifespan is smaller, some lifespan is bigger. But whatever you see around you, if it come to existence, it will go to extinct one day, after few days or after few years or after few centuries, we do not know. Our idea is whatever I see is real. Real means permanent. It is not permanent. Until you experience this, that anything what you see is not eternally able to exist. It is not permanent. It is all for a limited period of time. It appears and goes away. It appears and goes away. You say, how it can appear and go away? This is a laptop. This was purchased 2 years before. Where this laptop was 10 years before? I don't know. Maybe this is made of plastic and some other metal chips are there or some other thing. Everything was in a different form somewhere. Somebody different way accumulated it and made a form, and then it became a laptop. Do you think after 10-15 years this will be there? No. When it will not work, when we will throw away or give away, somebody will disintegrate it again. Metal will be melted, plastic will be melted. Now you think the existence of this laptop, 10 years before it was not there. Some people put something together and became. 10 years after it will not be there. So that which was not there, that which will not be there, what is the surety of its existence in presence? But you say, I can see it, I can touch this laptop. Even if you touch, because of your sensory system, 10-15 years before it was not there, after also it was, that is a fact. It is here for a short period of time, just like your body. I am 60 years old. Where I was 65 years before? I was not there. Maybe I will die after a few years. So, after 20 years, where I will be? I don't know. So I was not there previously. I will not be there in future. What is the guarantee of my presence in the center? There is a beautiful shloka again written by Shankaracharya's Guru. No, Shankaracharya himself has written, sorry. Adau antecha yan nasti, that which is not there in the beginning or in the end, vartamane bhi tattatha. Suddenly I do like this, and if you see a rabbit here, then again I do like this and rabbit goes away. The rabbit was not there 5 minutes before, rabbit is not there now. When you see the rabbit, that existence also is imaginary. It cannot exist because it was not there and it is not there now. So what is the surety of its presence? So everything, there is a lot of terms are being used to understand this kind of phenomena. Something is called frame of reference. Something is called relative existence. something is called temporary existence. Suddenly you see it, but it is not there. From where it came, we don't know. If you see a movie which is projected on the screen, nothing is there, correct? You go to the screen and touch, it's a flat surface. In that you see the mountain, if you say people are happy, people are crying, everything you see. Seeing that movie, people laugh and cry. But does anybody exist? Nobody exists. But it has the same effect on you as if people existed in front of you. So idea is this. So he tells to Arjuna that those who are wise people, yes, if somebody whom you love dies, so as a human being, it is okay. If you get pain, if you get sorry for that a person died, that's a human relationship. And it is obvious. If your loved ones die and if you don't cry, then there is something wrong, correct? So it is very, very common thing that your loved one died and you cry. That is because of your emotional attachment or your dependency on them, or they were the source of happiness for you, or helpful to you, or kind to you, or concerned with you, or something. But when you think from other aspect, the same happening. A person dies, you loved him or her very much, so you feel like crying. Same mind of yours thinks this incident of death from a different perspective. Okay? Already very senior person, already was suffering. So good that he died, he is free from the diseases. You console your mind. Even if person dies in an immature age, young man dies or something, you have nothing to do because of that. It was not in your hand. So you give solace to your mind by putting some logic. And even if you loved terribly to somebody, after 5, 10, 15, 20 days, that pain reduces. But that knowledge remains that everything is temporary. Buddha, after doing tapasya, realized one thing, which you and me know it very well. Buddha also knew very well. As an information which we have, same information he has. But he realized the truth, and that's why he renounced. Renunciation is not, oh, people are not good, so let me renounce. No. Sarvam kshanikam. Everything is temporary. Nothing whatsoever is permanent. Is there anything permanent? Swami Vivekananda says, so far as there is something called death remains in this world, all of us without exception are bound to ask this question, that whatever I am seeing in front of me, is it real? If it is real, then why it dies? Why it gets extinct? Why it goes away? That means what I am seeing is a particular aspect of its existence. In reality, it doesn't exist. How it can exist? That's why a beautiful sloka will come in Bhagavad Gita, where Sri Krishna says, okay, that which exists cannot become non-existent. And that which is non-existent cannot become existent. That should be clear. Then, what is this? What is this? Somebody's car is there, isn't it? So, what is this? A person is existent and becomes non-existent. Now he is there, now he is not there. Just a few minutes before he was talking to us, now you say he has to be cremated. Where he went? This curiosity is in the mind of everybody, irrespective of your race or religion. This is a permanent, eternal question in the mind of everyone, from where the life comes and where the life goes. That happens in everybody's life. Nobody is unaware about this. Everybody is aware about this. But we are so much engrossed in our personal life that this such a pertinent, such important question, we refuse to think because we are afraid of accepting the truth. This strength is required to accept the truth that everything is impermanent. Whatever permanent things you see around you will not be with you eternally, because you yourself, your body is not eternal. We all know. What I was 20 years before, I am not that now. Earlier, for sitting 2 hours and singing was not difficult. Now half an hour sitting itself, body pains. So the body deteriorates. A time comes when body will not be able to function. Just like Sri Krishna says in previous sloka, just like your old clothes, you are not able to use it. In the same way, the old bodies, we are not able to function in that. So the body dies, disintegrates. Is there anything within this body, anything called soul or something which transmigrates from this body to another body? This is the question in all the religions. Then different prophets came and showed the way. You live life like this, you practice like this, you achieve this attitude, this and that, and be free from this. Since we do not know the complete picture, for example, if I have hundreds of births earlier and maybe hundreds of births afterwards, we do not know. So this whole complete picture I am not able to see. I am just seeing only this picture in this life. That also not complete. Think of a person who knows all the details. In their mind, this is nothing. In Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna, you will find one conversation. Sri Ramakrishna says, in stories in Ramayana, Lord Vishnu is on the Sheshnaga in the Ksir Samudra. A sound came, bloom. So Goddess Lakshmi asked to Vishnu, what is this sound? No, Ravana is born. After a few minutes, another sound came, bloom. What was this sound? No, Ravana died. Ravana's birth and death has at least 60, 70, 80, 100 years of difference. But in front of Vishnu and Lakshmi, it is a matter of few seconds. That also in Bhagavad Gita you will find. That time is relative. Now they say, what you see one day on the earth is not exactly the same 24 hours in moon or in other planets. The day is different. Even in the earth itself, if you say what is a day, sunrise to sunset. The sun doesn't rise for 6 months. How you calculate your day? So you see the watch, what is the day today? Or dark, completely dark. Then you say, oh, already 12 o'clock in the night. Oh, it is morning 6 o'clock. 6 o'clock and 12 o'clock look same. World is so relative. Idea is to find, is there any truth behind this changing world? There is no point of our discussing scriptures and all that. If this is not clear in our mind, Why do I do what I do? At all, whatever I am doing, when you know the significance of that, then whatever you do, your sincerity will increase. I am doing it to know this truth. They say God is sitting in my heart. God is within me as what? As my consciousness. Why these specks are not able to move by itself? But I am able to move my hand. I am able to move myself. So we say there is an inert thing and there is a sentient thing. So what is there in me which doesn't have in the specks is the consciousness. Maybe some consciousness is there, but it's not manifested there. We don't know. When a person dies, a big wrestler maybe, or a big orator, or a big fighter, or whomsoever, once dies means cannot even move. The world is impermanent. Everything. You give a mark of permanency because we are afraid to accept the truth that it is temporary. Strongest man in the world at the age of 55 cannot even hold a pen in his hand. But he was once upon a time the strongest man. Muhammad Ali at the age of 55 something had a Parkinson. Strongest man in the world cannot even hold a pen. How it is possible? Because whatever strength etc. you see, everything is temporary in this world. Nothing is permanent. Your body has limited number of years or limited time for which it is. Could be 50, 60, 100 years. Could be 2, 4, 5 years. The world is not only what you see. The world is much more than that. Whatever world you see, study that world and find out the nature of this world. The impermanency which the great souls have taken, whether Buddha or the Bhagavad Gita, whether it is. Everybody has told the same thing. We don't read the scriptures of other religions, so we do not know, only whatever we hear. Other day I had a prayer meeting. So people of 8 or 10 religions, we were there for prayer. So it was an inauguration of a kind of columbarium where people keep the ashes of their fathers and parents and all that. So we all prayed in our own way for the blessings of this place. A Muslim boy came whom I know, and he recited a verse from Quran that in general you don't find. So I told him, hey, give me the reference. I would like to know what verse it is. That everything is impermanent in this world. This impermanency any wise man has thought about. Whether it was Prophet Muhammad, or whether it was Buddha, or whether it was Ramakrishna, or Jesus Christ, or whomsoever. This impermanency of the world, if that we need to think, Sri Ramakrishna says vichara. Vichara means keep on discriminating and getting convinced at the end of the day that as my body is impermanent, your body also is impermanent. Is there anything which is eternal? Is there anything which is consciousness within me? I need to realize that before this body falls. Whatever we do is for that purpose, to find out who am I? I am that consciousness within me. I am not this body, because body changes. If people see me after 2 years, oh, Swamiji, you lost weight. How I can lose weight? The body loses the weight. If I again start eating more, supplements this and that, again I gain weight. So our scriptures clearly say, Annad What is the sloka? The body is something which increases because of food. Even this world itself, there is this line in Vidaranyaka Upanishad, if I am not mistaken. What is this consciousness? Na karmana vardhate no kaniya. Consciousness doesn't change. That remains the same. Mind changes, body changes, ideas changes. But the consciousness, there is no change. It doesn't increase because of your karma. It doesn't decrease because of your karma. So that is the idea. We will be. So here Sri Krishna told this one, that this is apariharya, this is unavoidable, this birth and death. How unavoidable? Your own birth. We are not talking about whether giving birth or something. No. Your own birth and your own death is not in your hand. In a way. Again, in other way it is in your hand. How? According to your karma. You start doing nishkama karma. You start purifying your mind. You start realizing the truth that in this world everything is kshanikam, everything is temporary. Let me find something eternal. Some people say that consciousness is eternal. Some say no, that God is eternal. Eventually, who is God? That is God. In Vedanta we say, it is not the question what is God. It's a question who is God. Is the God somebody who was born and then died someday? This discussion comes in Swamiji's literature. Sri Ramakrishna was born in 1836, passed away in 1886. He was in a way alive for 50 years. Was he a God? Don't know. Then why do you say, why you worship him? Swamiji says, you worship an individual as God because they have realized the truth. And what is this realization? That I am consciousness, that what God is in everybody is that consciousness. They realize that. And realizing means to understand that I am that. So once you realize, you become God. God is not somebody who is very powerful. There is another aspect of God. But the truth, Atman, consciousness, is same in everybody. Manifestation is different. In some it is manifested more, some manifested less. You look at the ocean, you find the waves. You go to any ocean, you will find here ocean is quite silent. So you will find small waves are coming to the shore. You go to a place where big waves will come. Unfortunately, tsunami waves were so high. What is common in all of them? There are some small ripples. They are not waves, they are small ripples. There are small ripples, there are waves, there are big waves, there are giant waves, and tsunami waves. What is common in all of them? Whether it is a small ripple or a tsunami wave, all are made of water. A small ripple cannot become tsunami wave. Ripple cannot become tsunami wave. But the ripple can stand in front of the tsunami's big wave and can say, you are also water, I am also water. A jiva cannot become God. God is like a huge wave. A lot of power is accumulated. A big battery is, by chance you touch positive, negative, maybe you will burn. You will die instantly. But you can hold a small battery. You will feel little ding maybe, but you will not die. Electricity is same. The difference is in the power, the voltage. So, We cannot become Ramakrishna. We cannot become Jesus. We cannot become Buddha. But what is the essence of Jesus, Buddha and Ramakrishna? The same essence is in us also. Maybe there it's $1, here it is 1 cent, or lesser than a cent. Vedanta says the difference between Jiva and Shiva is in degree, not in kind. Difference is not there are two different existences. No, it is the same thing. But its difference is in degree. That divinity is less manifested in us. But if you keep on doing spiritual practice and keep on changing yourself, make your mind pure and compassionate and not fault-finding and graceful, etc., same person becomes a saint. Correct? Sri Ramakrishna's simple example, a simple cat when goes to the forest becomes a wild cat. It is the same ordinary human being after doing spiritual practice can become a saint. Correct? Same Ratnakara who was a dacoit became Valmiki. Same Angulimala who was a dacoit again became a saint. So, the difference between saint and the sinner is in degree, not in kind. That's why they say in English, every saint has a past and every sinner has a future. There is a beautiful, very interesting way of looking at. There is a great saint called Tulsidasa who has written the Ramayana in Hindi. He writes, actually there is no difference between a good person and a bad person. Both give pain to the people. How good person will give pain? So he says, think of a bad person. Wherever he will go, he will create trouble. And there is another person, a saint, who is always blessings to people. How both can be the same? Because the difference is in degree, not in kind. If that dushta or that bad person does the spiritual practices, can become a saint. A saint, if he is not careful, he can again go back. So Tulsidasa writes, there is no difference between a good person and a bad person. Sajjana, asajjana, he writes, Vandahu Santa Asajjana Charana. I am worshipping the feet of both the good person and the bad person. Ubhaya bicha kachu jaina varana. I can't see any difference between them. Both are same. How both are same? Bichurata ek prana harale. Saint is such a person, if you have to be separated from him, it's painful. Milata eka dukha dharanade. And the bad person, if you see him, there is a pain. A bad person is, if you have to go away from him, it's a pain. Eventually, both are painful. This is one way of looking at it. So you see, eventually, everything is same. Only the manifestations are different in degree. Any kind of bad person. So, both are the same. Difference is in degree, not in kind. We will take next time. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tat Sat Sri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.